vary based on vehicle model and mileage. All for details.
This is Talk Radio 560 KSFO, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, a Cumulus station.
We'll take a look at KSFO traffic.
Still stop traffic in Vacaville on 80 westbound after Lagoon Valley Road. The two right lanes are open. We still have multi-vehicle crash blocking the two left lanes. The heavy-duty tow truck has arrived on the scene. You're experiencing delays of about an hour and 20 minutes. San Jose, 101 northbound before 880. We have a motorcycle crash blocking the right lane. Emergency crews are on the scene. Traffic at this time stopped from Story Road and experiencing a 20-minute delay. That's traffic. I'm Katie Green.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Hiring can be a headache. That's why there's Indeed, the hiring platform that removes the hassle. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates. And you can schedule on their site. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This report is sponsored by S&G Carpet. S&G showrooms feature the area's largest selection of flooring, plus free take-home samples, free in-home consultations, and free estimates backed by their no-surprise guarantee. Go to sgcarpet.com for the nearest showroom or to have their mobile showroom come to you. Security is offered through United Planners Financial Services, member FINRA SIPC. All investing involves risk, and there is no guarantee that any strategy powered by Proxy and United Planners are not affiliated.
Join us for this educational and entertaining time with Pat Fatucci as he discusses the importance of having a financial advisor on your team. Don't Invest and Forget, powered by Proxy, has created a new standard of fiduciary service through wealth management, financial planning, insurance solutions, and business ownership services. Join one of our live seminars Thursday, February 2nd at Buon Vino in Walnut Creek to see how we can help achieve your financial goals. Find out more by visiting our website, don'tinvestandforget.com, or call 888-PLAN-WISE. Again, that's don'tinvestandforget.com, or call 888-PLAN-WISE for details.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTRCM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Individual rates, coverage, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right, but many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. It's powerful technology experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. It's a needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
One search engine is used by 9 out of 10 consumers. The name begins with a G, and there are hundreds of things that go into being ranked highly by that engine. Your website, your business profile, even your social accounts. A couple of slip-ups and you find yourself on page 7. But at Cumulus Boost, we have the experts and resources to fix what's wrong and boost your findability so you can rank higher than your competition. Get started today at cumulusboost.com. CUMULUS boost.com.
The Armstrong and Getty Show.
We're getting screwed and pulling back on our spending, it looks like. More on that in just a little bit. But as far as flying, and because it's been such a nightmare over the last couple of months, they're changing some things around. Let's learn about that.
It can make a big difference if you travel a lot or hope to. The more you fly one airline and use their credit card, the higher your airline status. More points, more perks. Free checked bags, lounge access, TSA pre-check, seat upgrades, and free flights. But after lowering the requirements for passengers to achieve elite status during the pandemic, some airlines are now raising the requirements back to pre-pandemic levels. Take Delta Airlines. To achieve gold medallion status in 2024, Delta is raising the required amount of qualifying dollars from $6,000 to $8,000 with Delta or its credit cards. It's also limiting access to its lounge. Last year, American Airlines went to an all-point system. United is also reinstating pre-pandemic elite requirements, a combination of flights, purchases, or both to gain status. Southwest will require more points for a companion pass ticket.
And the rich get...
Is that what's happening?
I'm not lounge material. I just, even if I qualified with the points or whatever, I'm not Delta lounge material. I don't know what goes on in the lounge, but I picture, smoking jackets and someone playing a harp and,
There's a lot of that, yes.
hors d'oeuvres I can't name.
Yes, you're more food court material, Jack. We think you'd be more comfortable there.
Yes. Why don't you hang out over there at the Sbarro's Pizza?
You know, if I was a super rich guy and it were available, you know what the one thing I would pay a ton for on an airplane ride is especially a longer one?
An airplane ride, is that what you call it? Hey, we're going for an airplane ride.
That's right. Private bathroom.
Oh.
Can you imagine? Or maybe like a guest list only bathroom. There'd be like only the front 2 rows of people could use this particular bathroom. No, that's still too many people. No, they're like, it's an extra $1,000 on your ticket. And I'm not saying I got this kind of money. I would just like to. An extra $1,000, and only 2 of you get to use that bathroom. I was thinking of using the bathroom in a moment. Would you like to go first? Oh, no, please, help yourself. Oh, it'd be so clean in there.
Is there a reason they can't make the plane 9 inches longer and make the bathroom twice as big?
Well, because if they did, they would think, you make it 2 inches longer than that, we can cram in another row of seats and screw the bathroom thing. They'll stick in another row of seats.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet, making the bathroom just a little bigger.
Yeah, I know. And I'm at this point in my life 5 foot 10 inches tall, and it's difficult for me to kind of contort myself into a way to use it. I can't imagine you 6'4" guys or whatever. Are you like doing the limbo as you pee? It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, if you have to sit, if you get my drift, how do you even do that? I don't think I could.
Well, unless you're long of body and short of other parts, it's gross. Oh, I don't want to get too specific, although half the population has a penis. Allegedly. Oh, that reminds me. You know what? This is much more entertaining than what I was going to talk about.
Did you have a point to that, or was that just a bold declaration that half the population has a penis?
Not usually. No, it's an advanced form of Tourette's. I just shout out, just statements about anatomy. No, everybody's got 2 feet. Those bathrooms are disgusting. Let's see if I can. This is the latest trans theory insanity joke. Here it is. The state of Washington, which is blazing new trails in being woke and idiotic, just made a reference in the official Washington Department of Health publication about, quote-unquote, trans-masculine people with a cervix. So, ladies, you are now a person with a cervix. They're trying to get the women... Oh, Lord, he used the W word. They're trying to get women to get checks like pap smears, get checked for cervical cancer. But they can't use the term woman anymore. So they're using person with a cervix, including trans-masculine persons with a cervix. Seems a little contorted. Lot-da-da-da-dee-dee-da-da-da-da, as they clown themselves. Unfreaking believable.
Okay, to the thing I was originally going to mention before we got off on
before we got off on tall guys trying to pee in bathrooms and trans-masculine people with or without cervixes, right?
Percentage of people with or without various genitalia.
What I would pay for a private airplane bathroom. So much ground we cover. Where were we?
The Wall Street Journal today, the U.S. consumer is starting to freak out. The flush savings accounts and the cheap credit that helped keep Americans spending at high rates since 2020 are disappearing, and it's changing. And this is going to have an effect. We mention this all the time, but in case you don't know, the engine of the U.S. economy is consumer spending. It's 2/3 of our entire economy is us spending. So when we cut back, it affects the economy bigly. Retail purchases have fallen in 3 of the past 4 months. Spending on services including rent, air flat in December after adjusting for inflation, the worst monthly reading in a year, and that goes back to, full-on pandemic days. Sales of existing homes in the U.S. fell last year to the lowest level in a decade. The auto industry posted in more than a decade. I didn't realize that. This is all a stark turnaround from the second half of 2020, when Americans lifted the economy out of the pandemic, turned down, but had a lot to do with the government cranking out money. And so people snapped up exercise bikes, televisions, laptop computers for school children, etc., etc. When the restrictions were lifted, then we all went out to eat and traveled and all that sort of thing. But when the government stimulus went away, we all pulled back, and now we're, I guess, feeling like we overspent, maybe, because our credit card debt is so high. And so we're just pulling back on everything we spend in general. And the Wall Street Journal is very worried about what that's going to do overall to the economy if this trend continues for very many more months.
Yeah, I could see it continuing for a few more months.
Yeah.
There's so many caveats, so many it depenses. But I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like, it's a couple of days after the earthquake and the big event is past. We're still cleaning up glass, and there are cracks in the walls and such, and life is not back to normal yet. It still feels like the aftermath, economically speaking. You know what I mean?
Consumer spending accounts for about 70% of the economy. As I mentioned, a downshifting consumer is a key reason that business and academic economists polled by the Wall Street Journal, on average, put the probability of a recession in the next 12 months at 61%. So we will see. My personal experience, just my anecdotal personal experience, having been in an airport a couple times in the last few weeks, and restaurants and that sort of stuff, the mall, they're freaking packed. So I don't know how that fits in with everything else. Of course, a lot of places went out of business. So, I don't know. That's why it's hard to go with anecdotal evidence.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the same thing. I don't know. It just feels like it's all still shaking out, like I said before. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what would be good news, what would be disappointing. It just all got so blanked up, and then so much money was slathered around. Then you've got a skyrocketing of interest rates.
Right, it mentions that in the article,
was
obviously.
The only thing that happened,
Sure.
You'd expect, things to be gyrating a little wildly right now.
Yeah, savings are about half where they were during the pandemic in terms of people putting money away. Credit card debt is at a record high. So they just are the building blocks of a pretty rough period. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Right. And wild gyrations in the real estate market, obviously the interest rate bears heavily on that. But, I was just reading a couple different things about, markets rising and falling and houses spending longer on the market and drops in sales volume and stuff like that. The housing market is still clearly in a state of upheaval. So, again, it's difficult to cite anything as a trend. It seems like everything just lasts for a couple of months, then we find out it's going in a different direction. So,
sure.
Upheaval. That's our theme.
And what we always leave out of the conversation, and everybody does, is the black swan event. There's always a possibility of, something huge happening.
Well, first of all, I don't see my swans through the lens of race, Jack. And you got war in Europe, too, obviously. Speaking of things I've been reading, a couple of different articles, the summation of which were, sanctions don't do squat.
Oh, really?
Anybody with any level of cleverness, witness the Chinese military or the Russian government, can find ways around them. They're inconveniences for sure. They're uncomfortable. They're a bit of a pinch. But Russia's level of imports now has returned to its pre-sanctions level, as they've just found ways around the direct imports from the countries that have said we won't export to you anymore. They just buy through third parties or have it shipped through here, there, and elsewhere. If the Chinese military needs a bunch of advanced chips, they just have somebody go buy, 500 of the best laptops on Earth. Then they dismantle them and grab the chip and think, that was kind of expensive, and move on with their commie lives. I'm not saying abandon the idea of sanctions for the rest of all time, but it was just striking how, and again, you don't need to be a super to come up with ways around sanctions. It's fairly easy to do once you figure it out. You have major shipping lines, for instance, who are now vastly expanding their capacity between, say, Turkey and Russia, because that's where all the goods are flowing through now.
So, according to Politico, many top Democrats are not that keen on the idea of Kamala Harris as a presidential candidate. I know this is are any keen on it, but can quote some of those people. This is from the Yeah We Know department, among other things. But so, how to tell if somebody's reading your text messages? I just came across it on this, kind of interesting.
Like leaning over
your phone and read it.
Really?
Yeah.
Bastards.
Mind your own business. Can the people at AT&T just sit there in the back room and read all my texts if they want to? Does that work that way or no?
Don't know. I don't think so. Or do they? Can they?
I don't
bet
know.
they can.
Do you
now
know?
that I think about it.
Does anybody know? Text line 415-295.
Texting rates will apply as AT&T reads your text.
Can somebody sit in the back room and just read my text for fun if they want to? Mine wouldn't be that great, but some people's would be. All on the way. Stay with us.
Armstrong and Getty. Did you know that you can save up to half on your wireless plan when you switch to Consumer Cellular? They offer unlimited talk and text with a flexible data plan starting at just $20 a month with the same premium coverage as largest carriers. Plus, their award-winning customer support makes switching a breeze. Go to consumercellular.com/radio25 and for a limited time, get $25 off when you use promo code radio25.
Tax Network, Tax Network, Tax Network USA. If you have a tax debt, big or small, unfiled returns, we'll file them all. Don't waive your rights, we'll fight for you. Saving money on taxes, that's all we do.
Settle your back taxes now with Tax Network USA. Our firm can save you up to 75% on your tax bill. Call now for your free consultation. Call 1-800-245-6000. That's 1-800-245-6000. 1-800-245-6000.
Inflation is nothing more than legalized theft, because with every new round of money printing, the 401k or IRA is decreased through the dilution of the money supply. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and while I recommend you consider physical gold for your retirement account. Why? Because gold provides real wealth preservation that can withstand anything. Even better, with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, you pay no penalties or taxes when you transfer your current